Hello everyone, welcome back to Everything Swift. Today we'll be tackling Leetcode question 49 titled Group Anagrams. We're given a parameter here of type array of strings and we are supposed to return a nested array of strings. Essentially, within this input here, we're given a string of characters and we're supposed to group them according to their anagrams, right? So basically, the definition of anagram is a word or phrase formed by rearranging the letters of a different word or phrase, typically using all the original letters exactly once. So this is a bit of a mouthful, and I think it's a little bit hard to understand because it's a lot of words. But I think this example is pretty clear here. So you can see here, this is our input here of strings, which is given in this parameter here, and this is the output, which is the nested array. So what we can see here is bed is by itself, T, eat, and A is a group by itself, and net and tan is also by itself, right? It's a group by itself. So this is where the anagram pattern comes in. So if we take a look at it, right, net can also be spelled as tan, right? And tan technically can also be spelled as net, right? So same goes for 8. We can spell it as 8 or eat or t, right? And the same thing as eat, we can spell it as 8, eat or t as well. So all of it in that group, if we rearrange the word, they actually can form the same combination of letters essentially, right? So that's why they are in the group by itself, and that's why other characters are not within the same group. Like for example, bad cannot go into this group here because it doesn't have the alphabet letters that is similar to this. So that's why it's in the group by itself for this example here, right? So hopefully that's clear enough. I think this example here is pretty clear, clearer than this definition here. So hopefully that's helpful. So yeah, that's our task for today in terms of solving this question. The question is like how we're going to do this, right? Like what's the strategy to tackle this? So as I mentioned earlier when I explained, essentially what we need to do is figure out whether these letters combination are the same. And how do we know ATE can be formed as EAT and TEA, right? Like how do we know these combination letters can be exactly the same as E, right? And how do we know E can be formed as A as well, or at least have the same combination of letters, right? So the key thing here is to know that whether they have the exact same combination of letters. So for example, ATE, we know they have the letter of A, T, and E, right? And the same thing for E. Eat also have ATE within the eat word, and T also has the word of ATE. So the easiest way that I can think of is basically to sort the string character here. So for example, ATE, if we sort it ascendingly by alphabetical order, it will be AET, right? And the same thing with E, if we sort this character of alphabets, it will also be AET, and the same thing of T, it will also be sorted as AET, right? So we need a way to check whether we have seen this character before. If we have seen this combination of character before, we'll append that into the array uh, to hold the original word. That's how we're going to return the answer here, right? And the best way to do that is probably use a dictionary or a hash map to store this combination of the sorted character here. So pretty much that's it. It's pretty straightforward here. I think the tricky thing or the key thing to know to solve this problem is actually to how do we identify whether that character of words has the same combination as other words within this array. And the way we do that is basically sorting it in an ascending order, and then we'll just check it. If it's the same, we'll append it into array. If it's not, we'll just create a new array, right? So I think that's the strategy here. It'll be much clearer when we code it out. It's not too difficult for this one. So let's jump straight into the code. If strings is empty, we'll return an array. If you watch all my other videos, I always like to do this. I think the world of Leetcode is probably not that helpful, but in the real world scenario, I think any kind of performance would be helpful. So in this case, if it's empty, no further operations required, we can just exit out of this function by returning an empty array. So the first thing we need to set up before we enumerate through or loop through this string array is probably we need a way to store it, right? And as I mentioned, we're going to use a dictionary. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm just going to call it holder here of type string to hold the sorted alphabets. And since we're going to return a nested array, we need a way to hold the same combination. So we need an array of strings. So let's go ahead and instantiate that. Once we are done, we can actually loop through this str and str, right? So basically, we're just looping through the string within this array. And as I mentioned, the key thing is we have to sort it so that we know that the word have the same combination of letters. So let me just go and call it sorted string str sorted, right? So this will sort the words or the string alphabetically ordered, right? So it will be from A T E, it will be A E T, right? Then here, what we're going to do is we're going to check if holder of sorted string equals to nil, right? So we have not seen this pattern before. So what do, right? So this is probably the first combination, right? So probably like bad. If we encounter bad, we have not seen it before. So what we're going to do is basically set sorted string equals to an array, because we are holding an array of the original string, right? We don't want the sorted string, because the sorted string is just for us to use as a key in the dictionary to identify whether this is a unique combination of letters or not, right? That way we can group it together. So if it's not, we just create a new array and store it inside for that particular key. And if we have seen it before, what we can do is previous combination, previous combo, I guess, holder sorted str, and then previous combo, I'll just append the string, right? Just be careful, we're not interested in the sorted string, we're interested in the original string, right? The sorted string is just to uniquely identify the combinations that we have inside the dictionary. Once we have that, let's go ahead and update it. Sorted str equals to previous combo. That's pretty much it to get this set up. So now from the dictionary, we want to return as a nested array, right? So all the answer is basically inside the values of the dictionary. So that's all we have to do. We're going to convert it holder.values, right? And that is pretty much it, I think. Let me just go ahead and run this to make sure we got it right. Let's see. And nope, this is not one. Okay, because yeah, I just need to cast it to string, I guess. There we have it. That is the solution here. Let me just run against more test cases. Alright, seems to pass. Let me just go and submit this. And it should be good. And there we have it. That is the solution for this question here. So just to recap, the solution or strategy here is basically taking each character, sort it, and we'll get the sorted by alphabetical order. And once we do that, we'll use that as a key and store it in the dictionary. And the value of the dictionary, or the values of the dictionary, is basically the one that stores the original string. The one that's sorted or acting as the key in the dictionary is just for us to uniquely identify the combination of letters to allow us for us to group them together, right? So once this operation is done, once we have looked through the entire parameters, the input parameter, we should get the solution. And basically we just extract out the dictionary values and convert it into an array. So pretty much that's it. I think that's the key strategy to solve this question. And I hope this was helpful. If you do, please feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And please feel free to spread the word of this channel. I'm trying to grow it, and I'm going to post more channel from here on now. Thank you very much. Take care, and bye-bye.